No, they're the one who's hugging them right now. Okay, that must be the daughters.
You got it. You got it. Welcome back to Oriole Park at Camden Yards. The Blue Jays beat the Orioles 12-5 in last night's game. John Gibbons' ball club is really swinging the bats well as a team. They're hitting .271. They've scored 27 runs in the first 4 games of the season. Take a look at that Blue Jay lineup. Reyes, Pompey, he's in the 2 spot. Had a good start last night. A couple of doubles in that ball game. Russell Martin drops down into the 6th spot. More of an RBI position for Russell Martin. He's got good numbers against Ubaldo Jimenez, the starter tonight. A .290 average for Martin with 5 ribbies. And then in the 8th spot, Kevin Pillar. His last 10 games going back to last season, he's at .333 with a .917 OPS. He's up to a great start this year.
Yeah, he certainly is. He'll be in tough tonight because they'll be facing Ubaldo Jimenez. Did not have a very good season with the Orioles in 2014. That was his first year of a 4-year contract. Jimenez went 6-9 with that .482 earned run average, 22 starts and 3 relief appearances for Jimenez. And his mechanics were the problem. He threw 18 pitches. He averaged 18 pitches per inning last year for the Orioles. He's going to have to work that out. He's working with some new mechanics this season.
And they have taken his over-the-head windup away. You can see his gloves going to stay right around his head, and he delivers the first pitch strike to Reyes, and we are underway. Jose Reyes off to a good start this season. Had 3 hits in the game last night and had a sac fly in his final at bat. Little bunt right back to the pitcher. He didn't get toward the line far enough. 1 up, 1 down. Let's take a look at the Orioles defensively. A couple of changes tonight. Alejandro De Aza is in left field. Adam Jones is the center fielder, and Steve Pearce makes his first start in right field this season. On the infield, the Gold Glover at third is Manny Machado. Cabrera and Scope up the middle. Chris Davis is the first baseman, and Caleb Joseph once again behind the plate.
And the leader of this team is Adam Jones in center field now in his 7th season with the Orioles. He'll play every day. 4 straight years of playing 150 games at least out there in center field. He's also a Gold Glove winner.
Adam Jones, a terrific defender. He's a 4-time Gold Glover, and he is truly the quarterback of this team. Not only the outfield, but also once they get on that bench, they talk about hitting. Jones is the guy that keeps everybody grounded. Dalton Pompey behind 0-1. Dalton was moved into the 2 spot in the order last night, and he responded with a pair of doubles, drove in 2 and scored 2. First 2 hits of the season.
He got some good pitches to hit last night in the ball game. Reyes was on first base 3 times, so he was able to turn on some fastballs. John Gibbons was asked today about Dalton Pompey in the number 2 hole. He said, you know what? He just looks like a number 2 hitter.
No real dynamic piece of information about how he came to that conclusion. It's really an asset to have 2 switch hitters top of the order.
That's right. It's a switch hitter. Gibby was talking about him. He's young. He feels like he's going to fill out. He's going to hit his share of home runs, and he also feels like he's going to hit his share of doubles.
Just missed downstairs. Jimenez is now 31 years old. He is from the Dominican Republic. Made his major league debut way back in 2006 with the Colorado Rockies. That's popped into the seats. Jimenez threw the only no-hitter in Rockies history. He did that on April 17, 2010 down in Atlanta against the Braves. And he's always been intriguing. He's had terrific stuff.
That was the first half of 2010 when he was just awesome. The best pitcher in baseball. Got off to a great start that year.
Full count. Miss Pompey strikes out.
Let's take a little closer look at tonight's starter for the Baltimore Orioles, Ubaldo Jimenez, and he's got a little bit of everything. There's the fastball he throws at about 60% of the time. He's got a slider and a splitter that he can use to set you up and get you out with. That was the last pitch that Dalton Pompey saw. Change up and a fastball, so a little bit of everything. But for me, the most important thing is he has simplified his delivery. Again, a career high 18 pitches per inning last year. That's just not going to get it cut in the big leagues. You're not going to stick around very long.
He gets ahead of Batista with the first pitch fastball. The appeal down to first base, and Mike Everett said no swing. It's a ball and a strike to the Blue Jays' #3 hitter. Batista had a big night last night. He was on base 4 times. Had 3 hits and a walk. He scored 4 runs. Bottom of the zone.
He also came out of yesterday's ball game with a little bit of a leg cramp and came in today, said, I'm fine, put me in the lineup.
Off the plate, the fastball up and away. Jose was hitless in the Yankees series, and he had everything working last night. Boy, he's got a good approach at the plate when he stays on that ball. He drove in 3 runs along with scoring 4. 2-2 pitch. There's another splitter. Cabrera at short. Jimenez sits down the side in order. 3 up, 3 down. Aaron Sanchez, the 22-year-old right-hander, will make his starting debut when we come back to Baltimore. Buck Showalter in his 6th season as the manager of the Baltimore Orioles. His team collected a season-high 13 hits last night, but they were beaten 12-5 by the Blue Jays. Let's take a look at their lineup. Alejandro Diaz is in the leadoff spot. Chris Davis, look at his numbers against the Blue Jays. 73 games against the Jays. He's at 24 homers and 59 RBIs, and it doesn't get any easier right behind him. Adam Jones has always hit well against the Blue Jays, and he's hit 10 home runs in his last 34 games against Jays pitching,
including one in yesterday's ball game against Mark Burley. Aaron Sanchez, well, here it is right now. The big league starting debut for Aaron Sanchez. He was called up for the minors last year. That was in July. Put in the bullpen, posted a pretty good ERA, 1.09 in 24 appearances. Did not give up an earned run in his final 12 ball games. But the big question is he going to be a starter or a reliever? He came to spring training. They've got him in the rotation.
Here's his first pitch. It misses down and in for a ball. The one concern about Sanchez is his fastball command. Can he throw enough strikes to be consistent?
And that is absolutely the key to him tonight.
That ball is drilled to right field. Bautista watches it sail over the wall. Home run. A leadoff home run for Alejandro Diaz.
The Orioles are so good at recognizing players in other organizations, saying, you know, if we get this guy, I think he's going to help us. And they did that last year when they picked him up, Diaz from the Chicago White Sox. Short swing, fastball, 1-0 count, and watch how he just drops the barrel of the bat on the baseball and lets that swing finish it off. Line drive out of here, 1-0. Diaz is a good player. No stride, just dropped the head of the bat on that ball.
Steve Pearce fouls it off his foot. It's a ball and a strike. Diaza has given the Orioles the lead. Since the start of last season, the Orioles are 63-16 when they score first. There's a breaking ball in there for a strike. So we mentioned Sanchez, just 22 years old. He was a first-round pick of the Blue Jays in 2010. There's a first strikeout for Sanchez tonight. The Blue Jays have been terrific on defense early in the season. They have really made some good plays, especially in the outfield. Kevin Pillar, a couple of terrific plays last night, including throwing out Adam Jones at second. Pompey and Bautista center and right. The infield has been good as well. They converted 3 double plays last night. It's Donaldson, Reyes, Travis, and Smoke from third to first. And the catcher is Russell Martin back in there at time. It's a high fly ball deep to left, and Chris Davis continues to wear out the Blue Jays. That's his 25th home run against the Blue Jays.
You know what's surprising about this, his first 3 batters of the game against Aaron Sanchez, who's got the reputation of a great fastball which has a lot of movement on it, a lot of downward movement. It's tough to get the ball up into the air. That time, Chris Davis, he just muscles this ball out of here. That one didn't have a lot of movement on it, just stayed in the middle of the plate.
Chris Davis hit a home run against Sanchez last season at Rogers Center to straightaway center field. 2-0 Orioles.
He could hit it out of any part of the ballpark. That time he stays back. It's almost like an inside-out type of swing, but he just muscles it out of left field. Almost hit one last night to right field.
Adam Jones had a 4-hit night last night, 14th time in his career he's collected 4 hits. He has 2 4-hit games against the Blue Jays. Three and 1. This is popped back our way, out of play. You can imagine Aaron's got a little adrenaline going. He is the 5th starter in this rotation. He has seen Drew Hutchison and Daniel Norris, 2 young starters, pick up their first wins of the season, and he wants to continue that trend.
Yeah, he's been sitting around for a week waiting for this opportunity and his turn of the rotation. Let's take a look at the scouting report for young Aaron Sanchez. He's got a fine arm, great makeup, great mechanics. The fastball's 97 miles per hour. He uses it a lot. Now, these are his numbers from last season when he was a reliever, where he could basically go fastball changeup. Now, as a starter, he's got to pick up that 3rd or 4th pitch, and he's starting to do that. He's got a curveball and a changeup. He's picking up the slider. He's starting to work with that in the spring. It's a work in progress. It's a pitch that's starting to develop for him.
Also, Martin gets on that breaking ball.
I think the whole key for Aaron tonight is fastball command. We haven't seen it yet, and he wants to get some outs early in the count, early in the inning, by using that fastball. And I think that'll set up his other pitches. Dane Johnson was talking to us before the ball game today. When he gets in trouble, Aaron Sanchez kind of falls off to the side, and he goes sideways instead of going over the top with all of his pitches.
Russell Martin going to take a trip to the mound to see if he can't help out his young starter here.
They call it going from side to side, pitchers, meaning that you're falling off. You're going from the 3rd base side, and you're falling off side to side to the 1st base side, and they really want him concentrating on get his momentum going towards home, finishing over the top. And when he does that, he should be fine. He ends up overcompensating by then yanking a couple balls out of the strike zone, like we have seen right there. Or he gets underneath the ball and pushes it. He's got to stay on top of it, drive it down.
There's his strike. Travis Snyder to the batter. Snyder is the DH tonight. Snyder became the first player with at least 3 hits in his Orioles debut since Ronnie Paulino. Went 4 for 4 back in 2012. Well, he gets jammed on that pitch, and Sanchez needs to make a good pitch here and get out of this inning.
Well, that's the thing that Aaron can do, because he's got good movement on that fastball. If the pitch count starts to get a little bit high in an inning, he can get out of the inning with one pitch. He can get a lot of ground ball outs, and that's what they're looking for right now. Something on the ground where the infield can turn to.
Smoke goes to second, back to first, and Sanchez dropped the ball. That would have got him out of the inning. As he got the ground ball he was looking for, Smoke made a good throw to second. Snyder hustled up the line, but he would have been out if Sanchez held on to that return throw to first.
Yeah, and I think, Buck, if he had held onto the ball if he went after it with just one hand, it looked like he tried to grab it with two hands, and on a low throw, that's really going to take you in a tough position. Here's the return from Reyes. It's low, and you can see that other hand trying to close the glove. I think if he goes with one hand, he can stretch out, and he's a little bit freer with that arm.
This is the third baseman, Manny Machado. Snyder a little bit late getting back to first. You wouldn't think they would run in this situation, given the fact that Sanchez is really not zeroed in on that strike zone yet.
Yeah, Snyder is not really known as a base stealer.
Ground ball. Travis at second will scoop it up, and the inning is over. But the Orioles have taken a 2-0 lead. Alejandro Diaz, a leadoff home run, his first career home run here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. And then 1 out later, this is home run number 67 for Davis in this ballpark.
The postseason countdown is on. The NHL playoff picture is revealed. The Stanley Cup Playoffs schedule release show tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern, or immediately following the Jays and Orioles on Sportsnet.
You got to make sure you check it out so you can get all set up for your hockey pools, and make sure you got all the information. They'll break it all down for you tomorrow. Final night of the NHL regular season tonight. Ubaldo Jimenez with a 2-0 lead throws the first pitch breaking ball to Edwin Encarnacion. Edwin shut out 0 for 4 in the game last night, but he had a sacrifice fly in the first inning. Pulled on the ground. Cabrera deep at short, takes his time. One down. 3 ground ball outs already and 4 at bats for Jimenez. That suggests he's keeping the ball in a good spot.
Keeping the ball down and getting some good movement also. He's not really known as a ground ball type of pitcher, more of a fly ball type of pitcher. But he's got so many tricks up his sleeve, you just got to make sure he throws that ball for a strike.
1 out. This is Josh Donaldson. He goes after the first pitch. There's a fly ball to right. Steve Pearce coming in. 2 quick outs. Ubaldo Jimenez signed as a free agent in February of 2014, and you can see last year was a disappointing start to his Oriole career.
Yeah, all of his numbers were up. His ERA was almost 5 in those 25 appearances, and the main culprit, I think, was the 5.5 walks per 9 innings. He just had an awful time here, and it was the first year of a long 4-year contract that he signed. They thought he was going to be the piece that was going to get him over the top.
This is Russell Martin batting down in the order tonight in the 6th spot. Russell did not play in the game last night and yesterday afternoon as Diana Navarro got the start. He's got decent numbers against Jimenez. Both of them spent time in the National League, of course. 9 for 31. That's a .290 average for Russell Martin. That's pulled foul.
Good movement on that fastball from Jimenez. It looks like he's also dialed it down a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's not trying to throw as hard. We mentioned his no-hitter. When he threw that no-hitter against Atlanta in 2010, his fastball averaged 97, and he threw 3 pitches over 100. Little cutter, but it misses.
Now it looks like he has slowed things down just a little bit. It looks like he is in control of his body instead of trying to overthrow.
Orioles have a terrific pitching coach in Dave Wallace, who has tried to refine all those extra moving parts. They also brought in Ramon Martinez, the veteran pitcher, and he worked with Wallace and the bullpen coach Don Cheedy as well, trying to help out Jimenez get in that strike zone more consistently. Good start for Jimenez. 6 up, 6 down. Russell Martin comes looking at strike 3. That's 2 strikeouts so far for the big right-hander.
Fans, the Blue Jays home opener is just 2 days away. The opening series presented by Honda as the Tampa Bay Rays visit Rogers Center April 13th through the 16th. The Honda home opener is sold out, but if you're looking for tickets for the remainder of the series, you can call 416-341-1234 or BlueJays.com, and it is going to be a packed house at Rogers Center on Monday. Buck.
Sure will be. R.A. Dickey will go to the mound for the Blue Jays. He'll make his 2nd start of the season. Dickey always pitches well in that dome. Mark Burley pitched well here last night, well enough to pick up his 200th career win. Becomes just the 2nd pitcher to earn his 200th career win in a Blue Jays uniform. Roger Clemens did that. He picked up his 200th win while pitching for the Blue Jays.
So he has 200 career wins in his 15th season. How many career wins does the rest of the staff here have here? I know.
You do know. I knew you did.
You know what? It's less than Mark Burley.
Yeah.
183.
Yeah.
How about that? Mark Burley has more than the whole staff by himself.
Well, and the other guy that would have the majority of those wins is R.A. Dickey. Tap back to Sanchez. Jonathan Scopes retired. 1 down. And Sanchez, in his first inning of work, gave up a leadoff home run to Alejandro Diaz and a 1-out home run to Chris Davis. And he was able to minimize the damage, and now it's up to him to put up some zeros and give his hitters a chance to get back in this game.
I'll tell you, in this ballpark, as you see it out there, Camden Yards, it's a beautiful ballpark. But if you pitch here against this team, you better get the ball down. You better come to the ballpark and think about getting ground balls. The Orioles hit 107 home runs last year in this ballpark. Most in the American League. I mean, that's what they do. They get up there and they try to knock the ball out of the ballpark. So from the first inning, you better get that fastball and you better get it low in the zone or they're going to hurt you.
This is the shortstop, and he hits it off of Sanchez's leg into center field. A 1-out single for Everett Cabrera. Sounded like it hit him on the inside of the leg or maybe his glove, but it hit something as it went over the mound.
Curveball right through his legs. That ricocheted off of his glove. From that center field, or from behind home plate, you could see how that ball moved a little bit as it went through his legs.
This is the catcher, Caleb Joseph. Joseph made 77 starts a year ago after Matt Wieters had an elbow problem and underwent Tommy John surgery. Joseph did a nice job for this ball club. He is thought of as a catch first kind of catcher, and he does a nice job. He signed and grew up in the organization, and he's just really done everything they hoped he would do.
Now the #1 catcher for the Orioles with Wieters out.
Ground ball. Reyes comes after it. Second for 1. Back to first. Double play. Man, oh man. The Blue Jays turned 3 double plays last night. They had a chance to turn 2 already tonight, but Devin Travis, the rookie second baseman, looks like a veteran around the bag. Reyes gives him a good feed. Travis completes the DP.
Next Issue is your gateway to the world's best baseball stories. Sign up at nextissue.ca/baseball and get an extended 60-day free trial.
Evan Travis, the young second baseman, he came billed as an offensive second baseman. He looks like a terrific defender.
This looks very simple, doesn't it? Where he comes across the bag to finish off that double play. But what's interesting about that, Buck, watch how he comes towards Reyes and shows the Orioles a little something different. In yesterday's game, Delman Young took him out at second base, and we had a shot of him talking to Louis Rivera, talking about what that turn was like, and Louis said you've got to learn how to turn the double play more than one way. Yesterday it was all behind the bag. That time he came across the bag, and you see how he cleared that path where the runner could not get him, try and break up the double play, and it cleared a path for him to finish off that throw. It's a shorter throw. From yesterday to today, we've seen some improvement from Devin Travis.
First baseman Justin Smoke is behind 0-2. That double play that Young hit Travis came in the 8th inning of the game, and you know, teams scout defenders as well, and they get a book on you as to how you're going to turn a double play. Base runners will pick up on it. Fastball on the corner. That's the 3rd strikeout already for Jimenez.
Blue Jays on Sports. Presented by the 2015 Honda CR-V, Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
This is the left fielder, Kevin Pillar. First pitch, breaking ball missed. Mentioned Pillar going back to last year. Has hit .333 in his last 10 games. Up to a good start. Just 4 games so far this season. Just a tad under 300. What has been the biggest change in your mind in Pillar at the plate?
To me, he looks a little bit more quiet at the plate. You don't get a lot of movement. Strike zone awareness is not overswinging. You're trying to force the issue, trying to do too much. He looks very confident.
What a scoop by Machado. He made it look easy. Took the little short hop, came after it very aggressively, and turned it into an easy 5-3 putt.
He's got a great feel at third base, doesn't he? Great hands, quick feet. He is fun to watch, a lot like Evan Longoria down in Tampa Bay. The two of them at third base. Watch how quickly he gets this one. Watch the hand right at the end. Just snack the short hop. Go down, out, and up to finish off that play.
Number 9 hitter is Devin Travis, getting his first look at Ubaldo Jimenez. Good start for Travis, 385 through 4 games.
He's a quick learner, isn't he?
Boy, he sure is. He played at college. He went to Florida State. He grew up in Florida. And he has been in some high-pressured situations, College World Series a couple of times. He actually played in the Little League World Series, representing Florida. So he's been around it, but every stop he makes now in his young career, he's looking at a different ballpark and a new pitcher. Blue Jays, bottom of the order, has done a nice job, not just turning the lineup over, but being part of the offense.
Getting on base, scoring runs, seeing a lot of pitches. Boy, Jimenez is on tonight. He is keeping that ball down, and he's got some good movement on that fastball.
Well, if the Orioles get Jimenez to pitch like he did in Colorado, they'll really have something. Full count, 2 outs. Reyes would be next. Fouled into the seats down the right side. Jimenez has gone 3-3 for his career against the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays saw him at his best in Colorado in 2010. He won a rain-shortened game against Ricky Romero. That comeback fastball found the outside corner. First time through the order. 9 up, 9 down for the big right-hander. Gorgeous night. That's the Inner Harbor, just a couple blocks away from Oriole Park. Welcome back to Baltimore. Let's check in quickly with Barry Davis.
Well, Buck, one of the adjustments that Aaron Sanchez made between the first and second inning was actually an equipment one. As you can see in the first inning, he's wearing one of Marcus Stroman's gloves. In the second, clearly he changed it. Now, Aaron told me yesterday that while Marcus Stroman is his best friend and can't be here, he's going to be with him all season long, whether he meant it was through the glove or not. And I think Marcus Stroman would be the first one to have called him and said, you got to get rid of that glove and get your own on for that second inning. And it worked. He got through it without giving up another run. But he has his own glove on right now.
Well, Barry, the big question is who gets those 2 home runs on their record? But they are fast friends, and you can bet Marcus Stroman is watching this ball game. And lots of these players certainly have a great friendship with Marcus Stroman. He's really been missed, and they're all anxious for his return. Probably won't happen this year, but Marcus has made a point of letting everybody know he plans on coming back stronger than ever.
Well, he really made an impression on his teammates, even the new ones. Josh Donaldson.
Looping liner into center. Alejandro Diaz is 2 for 2 off Sanchez. That ball was up.
That's the only difference that I see between Ubaldo Jimenez and Aaron Sanchez tonight. As Sanchez pitches are up in the strike zone and the Orioles aren't missing them. And Jimenez is down and the Blue Jays can't hit him. Diaz with that short swing, same type of swing he got the home run with.
That looked like a changeup that stayed up in the zone. This is Steve Pearce, who struck out his first time. Ball in the dirt. Orioles not much of a running team, and why would you run in this ballpark? As Pat mentioned earlier, they had 107 home runs here at Oriole Park last season. That's the most in the American League for a home team in their ballpark.
They have guys who can run. Diaz over there at first base stole 17 bases last year. And Edward Cabrera, who was batting 8th tonight, had 18 last season. So they have some guys that run, but they pick their spots. You don't want to be running into outs when you've got a lineup with this many home run hitters in it.
He might have been running there. He was leaning towards second.
He was leaning, and if Aaron got that ball over there quicker and got it in front of the bag, they would have had him. Watch this. He's leaning, and the throw takes just a little bit towards home plate.
Not running here. There's a line drop to left field. That'll drop for a base hit. Pilar comes up and stops Diaz at second. Back-to-back singles here in the third.
Steve Pearce is a straight pull hitter. He likes to get that bat head out. So some soft stuff might work. They tried to pump a fastball in there. Watch how he got underneath that one and straightened that ball out right in his wheelhouse. Again, when Sanchez is dropping that arm and that hand is getting behind it, he's pushing the ball towards home instead of throwing it downhill.
Chris Davis homered in the first. His first home run of the season. Pete Walker, the pitching coach, John Gibbons, the manager. Right now, just anxious for Sanchez to get that ball down in the zone. They turned a double play in the second. The infield is playing in the shift, and there on the edge of the grass there at second is Devin Travis. Reyes is nearly straight behind the mound. There's another base hit. That's into right field. Batista comes up throwing, and they'll stop the runner. The bases will be loaded.
I think that's where you have to pitch Chris Davis. I think you have to crowd him. You don't want him to extend his arms, but he's so strong, and this catches just a little bit too much of the plate again. You see that fastball coming back towards the middle of the plate. Davis, though, he pulls those arms in and gets just enough of that ball to hit it into the outfield. Nobody out there, not going to test Jose Bautista in the outfield. Now Pete Walker's got to find something to help young Aaron Sanchez through this third inning.
Yep, and this is just a little rough spot. Sanchez was able to get out of the second inning, bottom of the order. Now he's got to deal with Adam Jones. Jones walked in his first inning. Again, this is all about minimizing the damage. You cannot get out of this. There's nobody out. You just got to think about minimizing the damage.
And you don't try and be perfect here. You don't say, okay, if I throw this pitch right here, I'll get a comeback and I'll get out of there. You got to go one pitch at a time. Take your time. Make a pitch.
Ground ball. This could be two. Reyes to Travis. It is a double play. Diaz comes in to score. And right now, Sanchez will trade that double play for a run early in this ballgame.
Yeah, and that's a good start right there. You got a hot hitter and a good hitter, and Adam Jones, bases loaded, nobody out. He actually made a mistake, threw a ball again and got up in the strike zone, but he hit it right at Jose Reyes, and they'll trade a couple of outs for a run. Still early in the third inning. Now finish it off.
This is Travis Snyder, who's the DH tonight. Just want to be able to get Aaron Sanchez into a little bit of a flow. This is his first start. He really hasn't found his release point, as he's inconsistent with that release point.
And when he tries to make the adjustment, at times he's yanking the ball across his body. Like that. See how he tried to make the adjustment? After that second pitch was up and away, he tried to come back inside and pulled that ball on the inner half. And now be careful.
Got a left-handed hitter with a 3-0 count and a righty bat on deck. So Martin's going to be aware of that, and they're just going to go ahead and put him on.
Yeah, this is the right move, I think, right here. Just take the bat right out of Travis Snyder's hand and take your chances with a clean count and a right-hander.
So that would be the second walk, an intentional walk to Snyder, puts runners at first and third for Manny Machado. Pete Walker on the phone to the bullpen. Probably going to get somebody up and throwing. You would think it might be Todd Redmond. Redmond hasn't pitched yet. He's the long man along with Estrada and Hendricks.
That's interesting. They asked John Gibbons that. Why didn't Redmond pitch in yesterday's game? And they said for this reason right here. If our starter gets knocked out early, we wanted a fresh arm for today's game.
Well, there are so many things that go into setting up a rotation, and what John Gibbons and Pete Walker have done, they've separated Burley and Dickey. So you have the three young starters split up by the two veterans. And now Sanchez is struggling to throw strikes. Sanchez had trouble in his start against the Orioles the last time we saw him. He had 6 walks in that outing against the Orioles in Dunedin. Machado goes after the 2-0 pitch and fouls it off.
And it was his release point in that game. Remember, we were doing that game. I think Aaron threw 3 innings and had 6 base on balls. Same thing. The ball was going up and away from him. He tried to overcompensate and then fall off and pull the ball inside. Right now, I just try and just keep it low. Just throw it down the middle and use that good sinker that he has, that fastball with good movement. If you get it down and you make those hitters reach for the ball, they're going to just knock it right into the ground.
This is his first major league start. He enjoyed so much success last year pitching on the bullpen. A lot of people are going to naturally act. I told you he should have been a reliever. Well, let's give him a chance to pitch a little bit. 2-2, 2 down. Breaking ball, foul tipped, and Martin couldn't come up with it.
Boy, he had Manny Machado fooled also. There's Manny's numbers for the season. He hung a breaking ball, but he fooled Machado on the check swing. Just grazed the ball. to keep his at bat alive.
Full count. There are 2 outs. Travis Snyder at first will be off on the pitch. Steve Pearce will hold his ground at third base. They're playing off the bag at first base. Grounded foul wide of third.
Boy, if he could keep the ball there, he'll be fine. Exactly where that last pitch was. It was down and it was moving, making it tough for the hitters to square it up and hit it solidly.
Another 3-2 pitch. There goes Snyder. Fly ball deep to center field. Pompey is there. Sanchez is out of the third. Orioles have taken a 3-0 lead. When we come back, Jose Reyes will start things off. He had a 3-hit night last night and a sacrifice fly. Blue Jays looking for their first base runner against Jimenez.
MLB.com At Bat is the official app of Major League Baseball. Listen to live audio, follow games pitch by pitch, and enjoy in-game video highlights. The app is available on the iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, Android, and BlackBerry. Season-long subscription packages are available. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. And had a chance to watch former Jay Brandon Morrow go 7 shutout innings with that app last night, Buck.
The app is really a good tool. Anybody wants to catch up on everything going around baseball. Brandon Morrow pitched well last night. Joe Kelly pitched well this afternoon for the Boston Red Sox as they had a short night, quick turnaround.
That app would have burned out if you watched that game last night. I don't know if apps can burn out.
If you're not familiar with the Yankees Red Sox game last night, they played all night long, almost 7 hours of baseball. This is Reyes trying to get aboard. 2 balls and a strike to the Blue Jays leadoff man. First time through the order. Jimenez has retired 9 straight. Look out. We mentioned Jimenez signed originally with the Colorado Rockies. Made his major league debut in 2006 as a 22-year-old. There's a little liner into left, and Diaz short hops it. It's a base hit. Blue Jays have their first base runner. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Oakland falls to 3-3, and that division is going to be back and forth all year long. There's 3 pretty good teams out there: Oakland, Seattle, and the Angels. I think they're all pretty competitive. Texas got some bad news yesterday when they lost Derek Holland, the starter, for 2 months with a shoulder problem.
Houston's better, but probably not enough to win that division. Nelson Cruz hit his first home run today.
Big Nelson Cruz hit a home run for the Mariners. This is Dalton Pompey. Blue Jays trying to rally here in the fourth. They trail by 3.
It's a good spot for Dalton Pompey, I think. He's a switch hitter. And you can see the outfield now with 2 strikes. They're starting to now move the other way, play Pompey to go the other way. But hitting in front of Bautista and Encarnacion, if he gets on base, he's going to score a lot of runs.
He should get a lot of fastballs to hit. We saw that last night. You know, teams prepare for lineups and they look at the order and say, well, we've got a rookie here in the 2-hole ahead of Bautista and Encarnacion. I'm going to attack him. There goes Reyes. The pitch is inside. Strong throw, not in time. Reyes with his first stolen base of the season. They had 30 a year ago.
They will time that pitcher to get a number 1-5 and higher, and you can see how long it takes Jimenez to get rid of that ball. So even though you're down by 3 runs, if you feel confident enough to steal that bag, Reyes goes ahead and takes it. His first of the season as he slides safely into second base.
'56th career stolen base for Reyes. And now Buck Showalter is out of the Orioles dugout. Looks like they're going to ask for the review, and nope. He came out just to say hello to Tim Wilkie. Hi Tim, how you doing? Never mind. Buck is very good on the replay. He was among the best at the success rate of challenging those calls. Well, the Blue Jays have had terrific team at bats all spring long and into the regular season. By that we mean when you're in a situation like this with a full count, you're going to have a productive at bat with Reyes at second. See if
Make
you can't
him work.
move him up.
Make him work. Hit yourself on. And just like that, you've got home run hitters coming up, and they represent the tying run.
Ground ball. Reyes will move to third. Pompey does the job.
The 2015 Honda CR-V is the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays and Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
Jose Reyes at third with 1 out for Jose Bautista. Jose grounded out to short his first time up. If he grounds out to short this time, the Blue Jays will have a run. Infield is back.
You know, nobody appreciates that more than that hitter who comes up there with the runner at third base, less than 2 outs after the previous batter moved that runner with a good at bat. Now you got to cash in.
Bautista tried to lay off and committed to that pitch up and away and fouls it off. He's got a battle now.
It's almost like that fastball surprised Bautista.
Yeah, it looked like it was harder than he anticipated. Four strikeouts so far for Jimenez.
That's by design. Look at where all those pitches are. Fastballs up. Even if Jose swings at it, there's not a lot he can do with that. That is pitching right there.
Well, they set up their mind to go upstairs, didn't they?
He shook to it also. It looked like Caleb Joseph wanted to go breaking ball, and Jimenez said, no, let's go fastball one more time. Let's go up. And if he swings at it, not a lot that Jose can do with that one. That's a big strikeout for Jimenez.
That's 5 strikeouts now. 2 outs in the 4th. That's a good split. Late action, and it broke down under the bat of Encarnacion.
You know, he's got all of his pitches working tonight. And on top of that, throwing them where they want to. He's been able to throw his fastballs up. All 3 fastballs to Bautista were up for a reason, and he comes right back against Encarnacion and gets the ball down. That is not a good combination right there when you've got a pitcher throwing. His stuff is good, and he's throwing it where he wants to.
Really creates a big wide area you have to protect, top of the zone, and that splitter down around the knees. Ground ball up the middle. Cabrera behind second. That leadoff single doesn't hurt as Reyes stranded at third base. We move to the bottom of the 4th. The Orioles with an early lead.
Jays on Sports. Presented by the 2015 Honda CR-V, Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year. Jays on Sports. Presented by the 2015 Honda CR-V, Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
Utah Street beyond the fence in right field. The Orioles have a 3-0 lead. Couple of home runs in the first. Alejandro De Aza, the leadoff man. Chris Davis, his first of the season. They both came in the first inning. Blue Jays have just one hit. That was a leadoff single by Jose Reyes. This is the second baseman, Jonathan Scope. Scope homered in last night's game. Hit that home run off Marco Estrada. It came in the 9th inning. For Scope, it was his first home run of the season, and it came in the first home game of the season for the Orioles.
Hey, that's all he had to do. He had to get back to Camden Yards, right?
Well, he didn't hit his first home run here at Camden Yards last year until the 44th game of the season here at home.
You're not your typical second baseman. He's a big guy. He's hit for a low average last year, but he hit a lot of home runs, 16 of them.
Donaldson has it go off his glove, and he's going to pull it out first. That'll be his first error of the season.
Normally very sure-handed over there at third base. It looks like he looked up right at the last second. Took his eye off that ball from Scope. Plenty of time. Yeah, looked up just a little bit and handcuffed him by that time, just too late. They get that runner over at first base. It's an error.
Blue Jays have really been good on defense. Done a nice job defensively.
I think that's just their second error this season.
Had an error last night on a pop-up. That was passed Donaldson off the bat of Cabrera. Pilar was shaded over near the line, and Scope has to stop at second. 2 on, nobody out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Well, that's unfortunate for the Cleveland Indians, obviously. Gomes has become their everyday catcher and a very good one. Silver Slugger Award winner for the catching position. This is Caleb Joseph showing bunt and takes the ball.
Good teams take advantage of miscues by the opposition. Error started this inning, now base hit. And this is a situation that's crying out for a sacrifice bunt. So the Blue Jays are crashing on the corners.
Russell Martin has it go off his glove, and the runners will move up. It's a wild pitch as that ball got away from Russell Martin, and now the Orioles can take the bunt off, obviously. Take a look at this pitch. It's going to be in the dirt. Martin tried to backhand it. It went off his glove back to the backstop. Colt Hines, a left-hander, starting to loosen up for the Blue Jays. Redmond was up earlier, but it's Hines, a lefty now. Nobody out. The infield is halfway. Well, you mentioned the good teams take advantage of mistakes, and the error by Donaldson in the base hit. Now wild pitch, and the Orioles with a chance to build on their lead.
Threatening again, quickly.
Little fly ball into right. Bautista running, makes the catch, and runners will hold. Joseph flies out to right.
You know, now we're going to see what they do here. I'm guessing they're going to go ahead and walk Diaza.
John Gibbons is in the top step of the dugout, and he's going to come out to the mound. Looks like they're going to make a change. Sanchez has thrown 61 pitches, and he certainly hasn't been sharp tonight. And there's the call to the bullpen.
Very interesting. I thought they'd walk him and then take their chances with Pierce, but there's 2 out of the next 3 batters are left-handed. So Aaron Sanchez, his night is over. And John Gibbons is going to go to the bullpen here in the 4th.
So Sanchez will leave with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. He goes 3 in the 3rd. Base runners are his responsibility. Colt Hines in to face Diaza when we come back. Disappointing outing for Aaron Sanchez tonight. He goes 3 1/3. He gives up 7 hits and 3 runs to this point. There are 2 runners on, both his responsibilities. Walked a couple, 1 intentionally, and struck out 1 batter. So now he's looking for some help from Colt Hines.
There are his numbers in 49 games in AAA last season. A good ERA at 3.65. Tough against the left-handers last year and in spring training. He will get Diaza, and they will pitch to him now with the left-hander on the mound. The infield's still halfway. Do not believe where they are in the lineup that they will run the contact play here. They'll try and make the ball go through.
1 out. Fouled back, and Diaza is behind 0-1. He's perfect so far. He homered in the first and singled and scored in the third. Baltimore leads it 3-0. Hines pitched in last night's game. He worked in the 8th inning and faced 5 batters. He gave up a couple of runs on 3 hits. He went around. Boy, this is a big at bat for the Blue Jays.
Todd Redmond is now throwing again in the bullpen for the Blue Jays. It's very interesting.
He strikes him out. Martin puts the tag on Diaza, and that's a big strikeout. 2 down now. The Blue Jays have a base open with Steve Pearce, a right-handed hitter. Good breaking ball here, gets Diaza
in a good spot. Down and away. That's why they brought him in. They need to stop the bleeding right here. They cannot afford to give up any more runs. So you get the strikeout. Pete Walker is going to go out and talk to him now. I don't know if they're going to talk strategy, maybe putting Pearce on and facing Chris Davis.
It looks to me like they're talking more to Martin than they are Haynes here, and just about how you want to attack this guy. Pearce struck out against Sanchez in the first, but then singled sharply to left his second time up. He is a very good right-handed bat. Had a breakthrough season a year ago when he hit 21 home runs. Got a couple of home runs. They both came in Tampa Bay.
And you got to get ahead of him, I think. He's very aggressive at the plate, likes to swing a lot of pitches out of the strike zone. When he gets ahead in the count last season, he hit 400.
And he's ahead in the count now as Hines falls behind. This is kind of interesting. You've got a relatively inexperienced pitcher in Hines, and if you ask him to pitch around Pearce, I don't know that I agree with that. If you're going to put him on and work to Chris Davis, and they might just do that now.
Yeah. Russell Martin looking into the dugout, and there goes the right arm.
Yeah. I mean, Pearce, he knows what's up. He knows he's got that left-handed bat behind him. He's not going to chase any borderline pitches. He's veteran enough to recognize what they're doing, so they'll put him on. So you rattle the cage of the big guy. Chris Davis will come to the plate with the bases loaded and 2 outs, and he's already 2 for 2.
You know, the biggest difference between the Chris Davis we saw last year and the Chris Davis we saw the year before is he was a little bit more of a wild swinger last year. He was going outside the strike zone, swinging at a lot of pitches. 2 years ago, when he had that great year for him, he was very patient, and he made that pitcher come to him.
He's a career .232 hitter against left-handed pitching. He has 4 career grand slams, and he tried to check, and he didn't. Big early point of the ball game. Obviously, Blue Jays already down by 3. That's just going to be a loud foul.
In a cracked
broke
bat.
his back.
Got in on his hands on that one. Davis not happy with the bat that they selected for him, so he's going to get a little bit of that stick in there so he can get a good grip. Josh Donaldson all by himself over on the left side of the infield. At third base, you can see the big shift on the right side. Josh Donaldson's got the whole left side by himself. But look at Scope coming down that line at third base.
1-1. Travis on the outfield grass takes his time, and Cole Hines gets out of it. The Orioles strand the bases loaded. They have a 3-0 lead. We head to the 5th. Now it's time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Song.
Yeah, dropped it.
The Orioles have a 3-0 lead, and the starter Rolando Jimenez has been terrific early on. He's allowed just one Blue Jays base runner. That was a leadoff single in the 4th.
Told you he made a minor adjustment to his delivery on the left. That is September. Watch how he drops the glove down to his waist and then starts to bring it up. On the right tonight, he just keeps it right in front of his face, and I think that keeps him together just a little bit more, and it keeps him on target, on track to go towards home plate. A much better, much simpler delivery, I think, from Ubaldo Jimenez.
Well, he's 6'5", and he's got a lot of moving parts. He's kind of a hook-em guy. He hooks that hand in the back of his body right there, and there are a lot of things that can go wrong. So you're trying to minimize all those moving parts and eliminate some of the timing issues that he has to deal with.
His timing's been perfect tonight. I mean, this is the best that I've ever seen him. He's been able to throw the ball where he wants to tonight. He's been able to use all of his pitches. At times, Jimenez, his fastball's working. He doesn't have a splitter. Then he's got the splitter, and then the curveball's not working. But tonight, he's got everything working, and he's throwing it. He's pitching with all of it.
Bouncing ball up the middle, shortstop behind second. Cabrera throws out Donaldson, one down. In case you're wondering, where's J.J. Hardy? He was out fielding ground balls today, and he has injured himself. He collided with Jonathan Scope in spring training and bruised his left shoulder. So he's on the disabled list to start the season.
He was here yesterday for the home opener, and he hates that he can't be playing right now.
So does Buck Showalter. Got a Gold Glove shortstop that's on the shelf. This is Russell Martin batting in the 6th spot. Is pitching with a lot of confidence right now. He's ahead of Russell Martin. 0-2. He already has 5 strikeouts.
That fastball was just 89 miles an hour, but it got on Russell Martin.
He misses with that 0-2 pitch, and I love the fastball on 0-2. I just think it really attacks the hitter when he's most vulnerable. He missed with that pitch. Look out. That went behind his head. It was a breaking ball. It slipped out of the hand of Jimenez.
One more time they wanted to go down and away, and you're right, it slips out of his hand and almost hits the bat. As a hitter, take that bat like Russell Martin did and just take it right into the ground so you don't get a foul ball.
Little squibber outside of first.
Looked like he tried to drop down a little bit on that one.
Yeah, and he will do that from time to time. He will drop down and really compound the situation. Norris Hutchison in the middle, Burley, and Steve Tollison. Hutchison will start tomorrow in the series finale to wrap up the road trip. Russell Martin tried to check. The ball gets away from Caleb Joseph. He takes his time and throws to first for the out. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Very nice evening here in Baltimore. It has warmed up a bit. Not quite as breezy as it was last night, yesterday afternoon. Jimenez could throw just about anything he wants for a strike right now.
Yeah, I think I'll drop a curveball in there on my first pitch. And a little bit of a change-up, just down. His fastball's working, the splitter's working. We showed you in the scouting report how many pitches he has to choose from, 5 of them.
Has a changeup in there for a strike, and one thing he's done dramatically is he's quickened his pace. He used to be very deliberate, and I think that too created some problems with command. Little cutter, he missed the outside corner. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're in the 5th. Orioles scored 2 in the first. Couple of home runs in the first inning, added a run in the 3rd. That splitter is working. 2 more strikeouts here in the 5th. Jimenez has 7 strikeouts through 5 innings, and the Orioles have a 3-0 lead. Aaron Sanchez made his first big league start here tonight, and it didn't go as he would have hoped. He goes 3 1/3, gives up 3 runs on 7 hits, walked a couple, 1 intensely, and had 1 strikeout. And he was fortunate. Colt Hines came into the ballgame and after loading the bases, got out of it when he got Chris Davis to ground out to strand 3 basemen.
Just 61 pitches for Aaron Sanchez, and his night is over. Third pitcher of the night for the Blue Jays is Todd Redmond, the final pitcher to take the mound for the Jays this season. His numbers from last year in 42 games, 1-4 with a very good ERA at 3.24. Got off to a good start. Faltered a little bit towards the end of last season. Last 9 outings, he gave up 13 earned runs to inflate that ERA to its very respectable 3.24.
Redmond had a good spring. He worked a total of 11 innings, allowed just 8 hits. So he's on now trying to keep the Orioles at bay. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 in the Orioles batting order. Adam Jones, Travis Snyder, and then Manny Machado. One thing Redmond will do, he'll throw strikes, he'll come at you.
That's what John Gibbons likes about him. He can pitch him at any time. He never denies the ball, and he throws strikes coming out of that bullpen.
He sure does. And he's got kind of a funny arm angle in it. He's kind of drops down a little bit high 3/4, and it looks like the ball kind of shoots up out of his hand.
And he can pitch at the upper parts of the strike zone. Hitters swing at it, and they pop it up, or they swing right through it. Valuable guys who can give you multiple innings out of that bullpen.
Todd is now 29 years old. Turned 30 on the 17th of May. This is his 3rd season with the Blue Jays. He made 14 starts in 2013.
This is the exact situation that John Gibbons, why he held him back in last night's game.
Aaron Jones goes upstairs and hammers that high fastball. That's his 5th hit of the series.
Make a grand entrance during the DIY Expert Sale, only at Home Building Center and Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Adam Jones with a 4-hit game last night picks up his 5th hit of this series, and now Travis Snyder will step in. Snyder has hit into a fielder's choice and was issued an intentional walk. He cuts on the first pitch.
Had a nice little visit today with Travis Snyder. I was asking him what he thought about coming over here, and he's very excited to play for Buck Showalter. I tell you, he keeps you on your toes. Buck Showalter does.
Buck Showalter doesn't miss a thing. He's the 3-time manager of the year. He won that award for 3rd time last year as the Orioles manager. Of course, Snyder and the Blue Jays catcher Russell Martin were teammates in Pittsburgh. You remember the Pirates had a big punch-up, dust-up with the Milwaukee Brewers, and both Snyder and Russell Martin were front and center with Carlos Gomez, the center fielder of the Brewers.
Travis got in the middle of that one, didn't he? He was hopping over the screen to get out there. Just 27 years old.
Blue Jays' 1st-round pick in 2006.
I was surprised a little bit today when he told me that. I thought he was like pushing 30 because he's been around for so long, but he came up when he was just 20 years old. He said, you're heading into your 27-year-old season. You're going to have a good year.
Should be in the prime of his career. As you really think a player, you pretty much know what you have. Get 1,500 major league at bats, where basically it reflects 3 full seasons in the majors.
He's off to a good start.
He is a .246 career hitter in the big leagues. Snyder is going to play a lot of right field. He's DH'd tonight as Steve Pearce is getting the start in right field. The Orioles lost some prominent outfielders to free agency at the end of last season. 2-2 pitch just off the plate outside.
I asked him today what the Orioles have told him his job will be. He said he'll be playing some right field DH at times. and just come ready to help the ball club win that day. Do all the little things, back up bases, play hard, all those little things to help your team win that night.
There goes Judge, ball 4. Well, you mentioned the Orioles had to replace some big bats in their outfield last year. Markakis, 155 games in right field. He contributes defensively and also 14 home runs. And then, of course, the major league leader in home runs a year ago was Nelson Cruz.
Lots of offense that you took out of the lineup for the Baltimore Orioles. You just touched on the defense from the Markakis standpoint. 11 outfield assists, Gold Glove right field. Part of that very good defensive team last year for the Orioles.
It says Manny Machado still looking for his first hit of the season. Blue Jays have turned a pair of double plays tonight. Two and 0. Todd Redmond was originally drafted by the Pirates, traded to Atlanta in 2008. Now it's 3 and 0. He actually was in the Orioles organization during spring training in 2013, and then Blue Jays claimed him off the waiver wire March 22nd, 2013.
A couple of years in the big leagues. Be careful here. Another 3-0 count to Manny Machado, who's looking for his first hit.
Yeah, and you can bet Buck Showalter wants to get Machado going, so he probably had the green light on that 3-0 pitch.
Managers will give hitters, especially hitters who've been around for a little bit, the option. If you feel comfortable swinging 3-0, and there are players who aren't comfortable swinging 3-0. If you feel comfortable, let it rip.
That ball is drilled, but it's hooking foul into the seats. Machado jumped all over that 3-1 fastball.
Thank goodness there wasn't anybody sitting where that ball finally hit. That was a line. 330 feet. Watch this one. Right on a line down the left field line. Hooking. Ricocheting off the seats.
So it's a full count. Adam Jones at second, led off with a single. Snyder walked. He's at first. Look out. That bat flies into the seats beyond the Blue Jays dugout. Everybody's scrambling, make sure they're okay, and you can bet there's a tug-of-war going on right now for that bat.
And I don't think Manny wants it back. He's already gone to the on-deck circle to get himself a new piece of lumber. Look at this one. Lots of carry.
As soon as that bat settles down and stops rattling around in the seats, the fans scramble for it to get the souvenir.
The guy who gets hit by it should get the bat, right? It's not fair that you get hit and you don't get the bat.
Yeah, that's the only fair thing to do. So we'll do it again. Machado's got a new bat. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. This one's fouled back to the seats behind home plate. Blue Jays will play the Orioles 19 times again this season. Of course, the Orioles won the American League East. They won 96 games, 30 games over 500. They won the division by 12 games. This is popped up once again over the screen behind home.
First American League team to win the a division by double digits since the 2006 Yankees. I mean, that's how dominant they were.
It was their first AL East title since '97. And the first time they've had 3 consecutive winning seasons since '82 through '85. Buck Showalter's got the Orioles headed in the right direction for the long haul. Another foul back. Machado won't go quiet.
Would you? You haven't got a hit yet.
He's 0 for 14.
He's hit a couple of balls hard already this season, but he doesn't have anything to show for it.
There were times when I was playing, if I was 0 for 14, I was hot.
This guy, he'll get hot.
Had to load the bases, ball 4, back-to-back walks. Redmond yet to retire a batter. We mentioned Buck Showalter is in his 6th season with the Orioles, and you can see how the turnaround process took a while to develop.
66 and 96, 30 games under 500 in 2010, and then a little bit better. And he just keeps getting better. 93, then 85, 96 last season. They come to play every day. They had all kind of problems last year with injuries themselves, but they just come to play and come to win.
This is Jonathan Scope, who goes after the first pitch and cues it off the end of the bat. Yeah, you mentioned the injuries. Of course, they lost their Gold Glove catcher, Matt Wieters, to Tommy John surgery. What they did was, once again, they played terrific defense. And that contributed to that 96 win season.
Pitching, defense, 3-run homers.
Earl Weaver's philosophy.
How many years have we been able to say that about the Baltimore Orioles? For decades, it seems.
Ball runs off the plate. It's a ball and a strike. The Blue Jays up the middle are playing for 2. At the corners, if there's a ball hit to the first or third baseman, looks like they're going to come home. Try to cut down the runner at the plate, maybe get a home to first double play. There's a deep drive to left, and you can forget about this. A grand slam home run for Jonathan Scope. His first career grand slam home run. He homered in last night's game.
You and I were talking about it earlier in this broadcast about pitching to the Orioles, and if you start walking guys with the ability to hit the home runs up and down the lineup, you're just asking for trouble. A single, 2 walks loading the bases, and then Jonathan Scope picks on a slider. Breaking ball to the middle of the plate, and he's got some power. Watch this one come right back over the middle. Just spins over the middle of the plate. And he golfs it out of here.
No doubt about that home run. He had a long, deep home run last night against Marco Estrada. This is Everett Cabrera, the shortstop. He's 2 for 2 tonight. 7-0 Orioles. 9 hits for the Orioles. As a relief pitcher, when you come into a game, you want to be as efficient as possible because you don't want to give the hitters any information. Don't let them see what you're featuring on a given night, but after the Jones single, back-to-back walks, and the hitters had seen a lot.
10-pitch at bat to Manny Machado, and the guy on deck, Jonathan Scope, was watching every one of those. 10 pitches before he ended up walking Machado, and then Scope saw that slider and he knew what to do with it.
4-run 5th inning on the grand slam by Jonathan Scope. Cabrera strikes out. He's retired for the first time tonight. Of course, the Blue Jays have a potent offense, but tonight, Ubaldo Jimenez has throttled them totally. 7 strikeouts, just 1 hit for the Jays through 5 innings. Catcher Caleb Joseph. Joseph is 0 for 2.
John Gibbons was hoping to get a couple of innings out of Todd Redmond today to save his bullpen. So right now, because of this long extended inning, 31 pitches, Liam Hendricks is up, and it continues.
3 walks in the inning issued by Todd Redmond. And Pete Walker is going to buy some time for Liam Hendricks. I mentioned Redmond had a pretty good spring. He was throwing a lot of strikes, and it's been a different story tonight in his first outing of the season. He's retired just 1 batter he's faced in the 6 Orioles that have come to the plate this inning.
3 walks. That's not what he usually does. He's usually around the plate, being able to throw all of his pitches for strikes, but right now he's just got to find that release point.
First road trip of the season will come to an end tomorrow afternoon here in Baltimore. Opening day starters will take the mound. Drew Hutchison will go to the mound for the Orioles. He'll be opposed by Chris Tillman. For the Blue Jays, it's Hutchison and Tillman for the Orioles. Left fielder Alejandro De Aza, 2 for 3. He has scored a pair. He's homered and single. Popped into shallow left field. Pilar comes in. He calls for it, and he drops the ball. And now they're going to get the force at second. It looks as though Reyes and Pilar had their signals crossed. Pilar has the priority, being the left fielder coming in on that pop-up.
Yeah, and he called off Jose Reyes. You see him call him off right there, but it just clanks in his glove.
He stayed with it, and because Joseph had to make sure that that ball was caught, he was halfway, and then he becomes a force out easily at second. But that's unusual, and it just looked like he was distracted by something.
That's a lonely feeling right there. I've done that before. You say, okay, I've got this one, and then it doesn't secure in the glove.
Steve Pearce lifts a high fly ball. This time Pilar is camped under it. The inning is over. But Jonathan Scope, it's his first career grand slam. His second home run in as many nights against the Blue Jays. 7-0 Orioles.
Always plenty of Blue Jay fans on the road to watch their team play, and if you are a Rogers Everything customer traveling to the U.S., you can share your experience and stay connected with Roam Like Home for $5 a day. Visit Rogers.com/RoamLikeHome for details. Blue Jay fans not all that happy here at Camden tonight, Buck.
No, they're not, and their ball club trails by 7 as Kevin Pillar leads things off here in the 6th. Blue Jays have just one hit. They have one base runner. That was Jose Reyes with the leadoff single in the 4th. Ubaldo Jimenez looks like vintage Ubaldo Jimenez. He was a 19-game winner for the Colorado Rockies in 2010.
He looks like no-hit Ubaldo Jimenez. The day he threw that no-hitter against the Braves. Painting everything.
The high breaking ball is fouled.
He has just pitched and kept the Blue Jays batters off balance all night.
Jimenez was the winning pitcher in the division clinching game against the Blue Jays September 16th right here at this ballpark. Ground ball up the middle. Cabrera spins, fires in time. And with Cabrera, a fine defensive play. Took it on the edge of the grass behind the bag at second and threw a strike.
Well, you got to think that with the Gold Gloves shortstop out of the game, there's going to be some drop off, but there isn't. Cabrera, fine play. Going to his left. Little 360 and a strike over to first base for the first out.
Cabrera played 7 years at shortstop for the Padres.
He's got good range, quick feet. You can see him snatch that ball. Looked like it was heading towards center field for a base hit by Pillar. Cabrera gobbles that up. No J.J. Hardy.
J.J. Hardy is a Gold Glover.
Yeah, no drop off.
Nope, not at all. This is the Blue Jays number 9 hitter, Devin Travis, who fouls it into the seats. 1-2 to Travis.
Struck out first time on a fastball. Down and away. Little comeback fastball from Jimenez.
Going to the same pitch. They went with a breaking ball. He got underneath it and left it inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Remember, Jimenez really made a name for himself during the WBC in 2009. Pitching for the Dominican Republic. He had 10 strikeouts in 4 innings against Puerto Rico. They were playing that game in Puerto Rico, and because of the early timing of the tournament, he only pitched 4 innings, but he gave up 2 hits and struck out 10. That was a little calling card to set up the great season in 2010.
I think he had the stuff that he has tonight.
Yeah. He looks good. This is as good as we have seen him for a while. Little chopper toward third. Manny Machado. No problem. 2 down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Jimmy Nelson, the big right-hander for the Brewers, is throwing a gem. 6 1/3, just 1 hit. He has walked 2 and struck out 8 starting for the Brewers. Jose Reyes, the only base runner to reach for the Blue Jays. He had a leadoff single in the 4th. Picked up a stolen base, but he was stranded at third base.
Outfield is shallow now with Reyes at the plate. They know that Jimenez is on his game and taking away all those soft singles to the outfield.
That's a great point. When you have a pitcher like this, you have to read what you're seeing, and Adam Jones, we mentioned, he's the quarterback of this outfield. He has brought the outfielders in.
going to be tough to knock a ball. You can see the outfield, how they have shallowed up and they've bunched in the outfield. Tough to get the ball over the head the way that he is throwing as he brushes back Jose Reyes.
Ball 4. Reyes reaches again. Reyes is the only Blue Jay to reach. He's been on base twice with a single and a walk. Dalton Pompeo for 2. The Blue Jays have been able to put up big numbers so far this season. We mentioned coming into this game, they've scored 27 runs in the first 4 games. Bouncing ball. Scope waits on it. In time, and the walk doesn't hurt. Jimenez is locked in through 6. It's all Orioles.
The Blue Jays return to Rogers Center for their first homestand Monday, and on Sunday, April 19th, it'll be Jose Bautista bobblehead day. The Jays host the Braves at 1:07 that afternoon, and for the first 20,000 fans, you will receive the Jose Bautista bobblehead. For tickets, call 416-341-1234 or visit BlueJays.com. And fans, they will go fast. Buck.
They sure will, Barry, and you want to get there early and line up for your Bautista bobblehead. Atlanta Braves off to a good start, 4-0 going into action today. Chris Davis, home run and a single so far. Davis missed the first game of the season against Tampa Bay down in St. Petersburg. Yes, that was the final day of his 25-game suspension. There he gets hit by a pitch. Redmond walked 3. Now he's hit a bat.
That ball was not that far inside. Davis just turned out of the way. He's got that elbow pad. Didn't see it's up and in, but he didn't get that arm out of the way enough or quick enough.
Yeah, that's a tough issue for pitchers, is the hitters will wear all that body armor and they just hang out over the plate.
Right, and they'll take it right off the armor and trot him down to first base.
Adam Jones has been on base twice. Walked in the first, singled in the 5th. He's also grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. Blue Jays with just 1 hit. Orioles have 9. Jones way out in front of that pitch, and the Orioles have hit 3 home runs tonight. We mentioned the Orioles in this ballpark, 107 home runs a year ago.
Most by an American League club. They just love hitting here. Right now, Blue Jays just have not made good pitches tonight. They have not kept the ball down. You can see where those first and third pitches are to Adam Jones. Up and in the middle of that strike zone. That's better.
Reaches for it. Reyes quickly to Travis, back to first, and Jones legs it out. Boy, Devin Travis is really quick at second. 1 down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Well, the Braves have come out swinging. They really jumped on Dylan G tonight, the Mets starter. G went 5 innings, gives up 5 earned runs on 8 hits. Julio Teheran, the fine starter for the Braves, through 6, has allowed just 2 hits.
He's a good one.
Boy, the Braves are playing pretty well, but the Mets have a pretty good pitching staff. Not tonight, though, for Dylan G. Teheran has 5 strikeouts through 6 innings.
Matt Harvey can't pitch every game. Right? And they have more than Matt Harvey. I get it. He's back.
He is back, coming off that Tommy John surgery, and he is throwing like he did when he was an all-star a couple years ago. Travis Snyder reached on a fielder's choice, and he has walked twice. Chases that high pitch. He strikes out. That's the second strikeout for Redmond since coming into the game.
Got to reach back for a little something extra there to get Travis. Top of the strike zone.
Manny Machado trying to get on the page with a hit. He walked his last time up. Upstairs. Aaron Sanchez started tonight, his first major league start, and he gave up a couple of first inning home runs. That is Tommy Hunter, the hard throwing right-hander, loosening up down in the Orioles bullpen.
He'll do that every now and then, won't he? Drop down and paint that fastball on the outside corner to a right-hander. Now drop down and throw a slider.
Something that Machado would have to reach for. There's the slider, and he reached for it, but he's able to get a piece of it.
Drop down once again and threw the slider. Machado with that long bat was just able to nick it, keep the at bat alive.
It sounds like you have been in that situation as a hitter.
Yeah, well, I'd be walking back to the dugout. Machado's still standing up there.
Fouls that one back.
He had a 10-pitch at bat last time against Todd Redmond and ended up walking.
That sets the table for Jonathan Scope. Scope hit his first career grand slam home run in the 5th. He's waiting on deck.
You know, we mentioned it a couple of times tonight about Machado has not had a hit yet. But as you watch him the last couple of days, he's getting really close. He's seeing a lot of pitches. He's fouling off some very tough pitches. I think it's just a matter of time before this guy starts hitting.
Manny Machado has dealt with some serious injuries. He's had knee surgery the last 2 years, and it's easy to forget he's just 22 years old. That breaking ball too far outside.
You know, as they say, he's getting close.
Yeah.
Just the way his at-bats have gone the last 2 nights.
Timing gets better. You foul balls right back to the screen and feel like you just missed. He reached for that slider and pops it into the outfield. Travis backpedaling all the way out into right center, makes the catch. We'll go to the 7th. Blue Jays got a lot of work to do. They're down by 7.
Fans, the Blue Jays are going to be on Sportsnet 1 15 times in the month of April, but there is some good news because we have a free preview of Sportsnet 1 for the entire month. Plus, you can follow the race to the NHL and NBA postseason. Check your TV listings or call your local service provider for details. Buck?
Going to be a great month in a beautiful Blue Jays schedule, so you'll get to see the Orioles at Rogers Center on the next homestand. What a night for Ubaldo Jimenez. He's walked 1, struck out 7, and allowed Blue Jays just 1 hit.
And he's getting close to the finish also. You saw the pitch count now up to 88, and Buck Showalter, he's not going to push his starters early in the season too far.
Bautista hits it to right. Pierce coming in quickly makes the catch. Well, we mentioned just 1 hit. It happened in the 4th inning with Jose Reyes leading off.
Soft single to left field. Watch the left fielder stumbled just a little bit. A little uncertainty there by Diaza in the outfield. As the ball short hops in safely for a base hit. He made the adjustment later on when Reyes came to the plate the next 2 times where he shortened up against to take away that hit.
Reyes is the only Blue Jay to reach base. He's singled and walked. Edwin Encarnacion has grounded to short twice tonight.
I got a question for you, Mr. Manager.
Yes, sir.
If Diaza makes that play right there, okay, and Jimenez has a no-hitter, as a manager, how far do you push him?
First start of the season.
First start of the season.
Here's another ground ball. Machado gobbles it up.
Are you hoping for a hit? So you don't have to make that decision?
Well, I tell you just have to go by what you see. I mean, if Jimenez is throwing a no-hitter and not laboring, he's walked just 1 and struck out 7, and now he's really settled down. And you know, we saw this early. He had a couple of ground ball outs in the 1st inning. He's had a lot of ground ball outs tonight.
Yeah, something that's uncharacteristic with him. He's normally a fly ball type of pitcher.
Buck Showalter talking with his pitching coach, Dave Wallace.
I was playing in the minor leagues in AAA way back when, and there was a young pitcher coming up for the Boston Red Sox who had this going. He had a no-hitter going on in the 8th inning, I believe, and the manager had to take him out. That young pitcher, Oil Can Boyd, he was dealing, and the fans were booing him. Booing him, but he said, hey, I've got orders.
Future, yep.
You know, you can't burn a guy out his first start of the season.
I think first start of the season with a veteran like Jimenez, I'd let him go.
And let him figure it out. And the minute he gave up a hit.
Yeah, you'd have somebody standing by.
Sure.
You certainly wouldn't want him to labor. You wouldn't want him to have a 25-pitch inning late in the game in his first start. But he really hasn't had any tests tonight. 1-2 to Donaldson. Another strikeout. That good fastball has run back over that outside corner all night long. 8 strikeouts for Menace in his first start of the season. The drive of the game is presented by the 2015 Honda CR-V, Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
Jonathan Schoop hit 16 home runs last year for the Baltimore Orioles. This is his second of 2015, and it's a big one. Grand slam home run, the first by the Orioles this season, deep to left field. Really broke open this game. It was 3-0 at the time, and that made it 7-zip as Schoop's drive of the game puts the Orioles way out front.
Orioles have hit 3 home runs tonight. 2 came in the first inning, and then Schoop's homer in the 5th. New pitcher for the Blue Jays is Liam Hendricks, as Hendricks will work again tonight. Hendricks made his debut last night, his season debut, worked an inning, gave up a hit, nothing else.
Faced Joseph, gave up a hit to Cabrera, and then the double play off the bat of Stephen Pierce. There are his numbers in 9 games. He was with the Blue Jays. He was then traded to the Kansas City Royals and then back here to the Blue Jays, and he will serve as a long man as it looks like Ubaldo Jimenez night is finally over.
Buck Showalter with the pat on the back and a great first start of the season for Jimenez. And big smile as there were a lot of concerns about how they were going to utilize Jimenez.
Had a bad spring, and remember it came down to he or Kevin Gausman as Steve Tollefson has taken over at shortstop for Jose Reyes. Gosman goes to the bullpen. Jimenez goes to the rotation. His first one in 2015 is pretty good.
Jonathan Scope, second baseman. Scope is a free swinger, and as Pat mentioned, he had 16 home runs a year ago. Off to a good start this season. Both of his home runs have come against the Blue Jays.
Did not hit for a very good average last year, and that's one thing that he has wanted to improve on. Yes, he's got the power, and he's good second baseman. That batting average, he wants to see that put up a little bit higher.
Scope is 23 years old. He'll play all season long at 23. Another young, good-looking player. He is from Curacao, and if you watch the highlights last night, there's another young shortstop from Curacao that made a terrific play for the Atlanta Braves, and the Blue Jays will see Andrelton Simmons on the upcoming homestand. And of course, there's Xander Bogaerts for the Red Sox, also another shortstop from Aruba. They're all from the Netherlands in the World Baseball Classic.
That play last night was as good as it gets, huh?
Hendricks strikes out Scope, first batter he faces here in the seventh. Liam Hendricks made this ball club as the Blue Jays a little bit concerned about having three young starters in the rotation. So they took the extra reliever. They have three right-handed, basically long men in their pen in Redmond, Hendricks, and Estrada.
And you do that because of those young starters. You just don't know the consistency of what you're going to get from night to night.
Look out, that ball was rocketed into the seats behind the Blue Jays dugout. And that's the problem that the Blue Jays had tonight. Aaron Sanchez goes just 3 in the third, charged with 3 runs on 7 hits. That's why you don't put Norris and Sanchez back to back in your rotation.
You'll blow up your bullpen if they don't come through. And it's not that they can't do it. It's just that the Blue Jays aren't sure with young players how consistent they're going to be. Excuse me, Buck, you'll have a hiccup every now and then from the veterans and Dickey and Burley, but for the most part, you know what you're going to get from them.
They'll keep you in ball games. DeMarlo Hale discussing things with the skipper. Smoke steps on the bag, 2 outs.
Make a grand entrance during the DIY Expert Sale, only at Home Building Center and Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
2 down here in the bottom of the 7th. These two ball clubs will wrap up the series tomorrow afternoon. Both of their opening day pitchers will start. For the Orioles, it will be Chris Tillman. Will make his 15th career start against the Blue Jays, and for Blue Jays, Drew Hutchison. Caleb Joseph fouls it back to the screen. Hutchison won his first outing, beat the Yankees in New York, his first opening day start. Hutchison went 6 innings, allowed just 3 hits in that opener against New York. Good inning for Liam Hendricks as he strikes out Caleb Joseph. A couple of strikeouts in the inning. We move to the 8th.
Fans, if you always wanted to be a big league player, here is a great opportunity. It's the Blue Jays Fantasy Camp, November 15th through 20th in Dunedin, Florida. Join Roberto Alomar, George Bell, Jesse Barfield, and many more for the ultimate major league experience. Package includes airfare, hotel, meals, uniform, and 4 days of baseball. Spots are limited. Go to bluejays.com/fantasycamp for details. And I have no plans November 15th through 20th, guys. You think you can pull a few strings and get me there or what?
Yeah, it only cost you a few bucks, Barry. We'll make sure we save a place for you.
We'll get you there, but I'm not picking you for my team. You could be my leadoff hitter, Barry. Tommy Hunter now into the ball game, taking over for Yubano Jimenez. There are the numbers for Tommy Hunter in 60 games last year. He throws hard. Good fastball, good breaking ball. Everything's got some heat on it. It's his second outing of the season. He pitched 2/3 of an inning down in Tampa when the Orioles opened up the season there.
Tommy Hunter began his career as a starter. He was traded to Baltimore in 2012 and came on as a starter. Here he hits Russell Martin right in the middle of the back, and I don't care what the situation is, that hurts. Martin will take his time to remove the pads and just sloughs off that hit in the ribs. I mean, this one got it good right underneath the arm.
Yeah, you can't rub it right there, right in the backside. Told you Hunter throws hard.
So Russell Martin hit by a pitch to start the inning. High pop up on the infield. Cabrera, the shortstop, right in front of the bag. Looks retired. Roberto Jimenez, the first start of the season, and it's a good one. 7 innings, just 1 hit. Reyes got the only hit against him. He walked Reyes also. And he strikes out 8. 96 pitches, and the Orioles will be very pleased with that outing they got from Jimenez.
And that's your 5th starter right there. Jimenez off to a great start in 2015. He had everything working tonight. His pitches had a lot of action on it, a lot of movement, and he could throw them where he wanted to tonight.
He was as good as I have seen him going all the way back to that 2010 season. That's when he was so good for the Rockies. He won 19 games that year. But he gets his season off on the right foot tonight. This is Kevin Pillar, and talk about offers. A lot of offers in the Blue Jays lineup. This is chopped toward third. Machado cleanly in time to throw out Pillar. Machado was naturally a shortstop. And of course, with J.J. Hardy here, Buck Showalter said, you know what? Let's move Machado to third base and see what we end up with.
Yeah, he didn't just come to the major leagues and started playing third base. They started that process while he was down in the minor leagues, and he's a natural.
They moved him to third base in Double-A, and when he came to the big leagues, he moved right in to take over every day at third.
Orioles have had some pretty good third basemen, haven't they?
You think? A guy named Brooks Robinson that was over there for years, and after him, Doug DeCinces, and then a fellow named Cal Ripken played a little bit over there too.
Started over there at third base and then shifted over to shortstop, and now here comes Machado.
Orioles have a good bullpen. Tommy Hunter's a big part of that. Darren O'Day also a big right-hander that's very effective, and then the closer, Zach Britton. Britton, too, like Hunter, was a starter early in his career, but now he's a terrific closer, one of the best in the game. Tommy Hunter hits Russell Martin, but gives up nothing else as the Blue Jays go down. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Now it's time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zorn.
Fans, you want to get up early tomorrow morning because we have a great documentary for you. Sportsnet presents Dalton Pompey on Deck, 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. A special look at a special player, looking ahead to his upcoming season and looking back on his rapid rise through the Blue Jays farm system. Dalton Pompey on Deck tomorrow on Sportsnet. Gentlemen, I had a chance to watch this last night. It is fantastic. Fans will absolutely love it.
Barry Stephen Brunt does a terrific job of telling the story of Dalton Pompey, and it's a good story and one you want to see. Danny Valencia takes over in right field for Jose Bautista as Bautista is out of the ball game. Quick turnaround tomorrow. These two teams will wrap things up with a 1 o'clock start tomorrow. 6th and final game of this season opening road trip for the Blue Jays. Leadoff man Alejandro De Aza. Liam Hendricks retired to side in order in the 7th. De Aza got the Orioles off and running with a leadoff home run tonight.
They make it work, don't they? The Baltimore Orioles. They lose Markakis. They lose Nelson Cruz. They just have a knack of putting guys in there, just plugging them in and just letting them do their thing.
How much does Buck Showalter have to do with that?
I think Buck Showalter has everything to do with that. He's got his hands in just about everything within the organization. And if it fits, they'll go out and trade for it.
There is no mistake. Buck Showalter is running his show. He has everybody on their toes, the players, the coaches. He doesn't miss anything. But he certainly makes sure that everybody understands what their role is. This is his 6th season as the Orioles manager. He's a 3-time manager of the year. Started his managerial career as a 36-year-old for the Yankees.
He was telling us a story today that his son is working for the Orioles, Nat, as a scout in the Texas area, and they're watching players right now. Got a chance to talk with his dad last night about a player that he's looking at, and they got to compare notes. And the father was saying, well, I don't like this, and this is the reason why I don't like the guy. And the son was arguing, no, you like him because he can do this. It was fantastic. I said, so you're scouting high school guys right now? He goes, yeah, I'm just taking a look at him, helping my son out.
Yeah, look at reports and talk about some physical characteristics of the individual and then give his son what he thinks is some good advice. But how many sons really listen to their father about this stuff?
Never. Even if they're working for him.
Naza fouls it back. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Buck Showalter won his first Manager of the Year award in '94 with the Yankees. Number 2 came with the Texas Rangers in 2004, and he picked up his 3rd piece of hardware last year with the Orioles. Breaking ball in the dirt. Russell Martin will go to first for the out.
The 2015 Honda CR-V is the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays and Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
Liam Hendricks has been sharp since coming into this game. He has retired all 4 batters, and it should be 5. Danny Valencia in right field waits on it, and Steve Pearce is retired. That's 5 straight set down by Liam Hendricks.
3 of them.
Strikeouts.
3 of them by strikeouts. A couple swinging and 1 taking. 23 total pitches, 18 strikes. That's what you want when you come out of the bullpen.
Just cut down on the information the hitters can gather. Throw it over. Make them swing it. This is big Chris Davis. He is 2 for 3. He was hit by a pitch in the 6th. Think there was any intent in the Russell Martin hit by a pitch? I mean, you would think that they would save it for a different situation.
Because Chris Davis got hit? No.
It was kind of odd.
Yeah. But I don't think so.
Martin got drilled by Tommy Hunter to start the 8th inning, and he got hit right underneath his left arm, right in the rib cage. Chris Davis got hit leading off the 6th. But you know, you and I are old-fashioned guys, and Chris Davis hit a home run and he singled, so he's leading off the 6th. He gets hit by a pitch.
I thought Chris Davis, they were just pitching the ball inside and he couldn't get his elbow out of the way. I didn't think there was any intent there.
They throw him inside here. What a good outing for Liam Hendricks. He faces 6 batters, retires them all, and strikes out 4. We're in the 9th. Zach Britton will get some work.
Fans, if you're planning to see multiple games this year, the Blue Jays ticket packages are just the thing. You pick the games and reserve seats that get you closer to the action. Starting from 10 games up to a full season, our account executives will find the packages that best suit your needs. Call 416-341-1234 or visit BlueJays.com to learn about all the great benefits of being a Blue Jays ticket package holder. Buck.
Lots of benefits, lots of great games coming up on the schedule, so make sure you check that out. Here is the closer for the Orioles, Zach Britton, and it's certainly not a save situation. He had 37 saves a year ago.
A chance to get some work right here. Zach Britton, this is his 3rd game already this year. There are his numbers from last season. And you want to talk about a guy who gets ground balls, this is it right here.
There's a ground ball past the 3rd baseman off the bat of Steve Tollison. He's headed for 2nd, and Tollison in his first at bat ends up with a double. So now for a preview of what's coming up next on Sportsnet Central, here's Martine Guyard and Brendan Dunlop. Lots coming up right after this ball game, and of course you heard the playoff spots for the NHL all being set tonight. Final night of the regular season. And how about Jordan Spieth? He was tearing up the Masters.
So has he set a record for 54? I don't want to give it away. I want people to tune in and to stay.
Yeah, 54-hole record, and he will be teamed up, I believe, with Phil Mickelson tomorrow in the final pairing.
But he's only up by 4 strokes.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's going to happen tomorrow. He's just 21 years old, trying to win his first major. This is Dalton Pompey batting in the 2 spot. Tollison with the leadoff double, his first hit of the season. Britton, we mentioned 37 saves a year ago. He was 37 for 41. He did not have a save opportunity until the 15th of May. He didn't start out the season as the closer.
And then came in, got those 36 saves after that date, which is the most in the American League. 37 totally. 4th best in the AL.
This is going to reach the seats out of play. We mentioned Tommy Hunter began his career as a starter. Same for Zach Britton. You just always want to find out what you have, and Britton was a starter throughout his minor league career. And in his 3 different seasons with the Orioles, in his first year, 2011, he made 28 starts.
And then there were some arm problems where he sat out with some injury. And then got that fastball back.
That ball is cut on, and Pompey will be thrown out at first as the ball got away from the catcher. And on the play, Tollefson moves to 3rd.
Hard breaking ball right here, and Pompey swings at it. Blocked by Joseph. And he runs it down and finishes it off. 10 strikeouts now tonight by Oriole pitching.
Well, they have that kind of bullpen, and now Buck Showalter is coming out again to the umpire. And what's the question here?
There's nobody throwing. Oh, he's wondering if the runner can advance. Tim Welke is the crew chief.
Why couldn't he advance?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a swinging strikeout. The play is to first base, and when they made the play to first, Tollefson went over to 3rd.
It's the only thing I could think of. What else could it be?
Well, we told you about Showalter. He doesn't miss much. They're having an umpires conference now between the mound and first base.
He's got them all talking.
Tim Welke is the crew chief. He was working home plate. And now they're going to send Tollefson back. I have to be honest with you, I'm not quite sure why. And
did the ball hit? It didn't look like it hit the batter. If it hit the batter, is it a dead ball?
Dead ball. If he swings at it, hit the batter. And that must be the explanation John Gibbons is getting. And obviously 7-0. He's going to accept the ruling by the umpire. Let's take a look at the strikeout.
Let's see if it did indeed on a check swing hit him. Yeah, it hit him in the toe.
In the foot. Yep. And he swung at it, so the ball was dead. And it's a strikeout. We told you Buck doesn't miss anything. This is Danny Valencia getting his first at bat of the night. He came on defensively for Batista in right. Valencia played for the Orioles in 2013. He played in 52 games. This is Chop. Look at that play. Oh, wow. That ball barehanded by Machado, and in one motion he gathered the ball and threw to first to throw out Valencia.
He's a Gold Glover, and you can see John Gibbons. He wants to take a look at that one. High off the plate. His only play is to barehand it and in one motion throw hard. He's got a big target over there, Chris Davis, and from that shot it looked like he was out. Look at him get on top of that ball and very quickly set and fire to first base.
And you saw what he did too. He rolled that baseball to get the grip across the seams. Once he grabbed it, he rolled the baseball like you teach all great players. Yep. Watch the baseball.
In his hand, find the seams. He does, and he fires across. He didn't have enough time, I thought, to be able to do that. But he's something else down there.
Gold Glover shows you why. This is Edwin Encarnacion. He's grounded out 3 times tonight. Blue Jays with just 2 hits. They had 16 hits last night. Ground ball in the hole, through into left field. Encarnacion has a base hit. Thomason comes in to score, and the Blue Jays score here in the 9th.
Break the shutout right there. Encarnacion is going to get an RBI. Britton throws a lot of ground balls. It's tough to get on top of this one. He does. Hits it right into the ground, and Cabrera cannot come up with it. Hits it in a great spot. Blue Jays are finally on the board.
Edwin now with 5 RBIs for the season. Josh Donaldson. Donaldson has a home run against Britton, but he's one of the best hitters against lefty pitching in all of baseball.
Yeah, that's it right there. He just wears out the left-handers. Got to make sure you get that ball up. Britton really gets on top of that ball and drives it down, doesn't he?
That's off the end of the bat as Davis waits out. Britton covers the bag, and the ball game is over. Blue Jays score a run in the 9th, but too little too late. Ubaldo Jimenez, a terrific first start of the season as he shuts out the Blue Jays through his 7 innings. Blue Jays managed just 3 hits, and they'll play for the series tomorrow.
Yeah, this was all about Ubaldo Jimenez and how difficult it was to hit him tonight, and then the Oriole power. They hit 3 more home runs, including a grand slam. That's been the formula for them here for a long time to win ball games.
3 home runs in the game, including the grand slam by Jonathan Scope. We'll be right back at it tomorrow afternoon. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Sportsnet Central coming up right now.